Yo, today we have another newsletter insight called FOMO, the fear of missing out. Understanding FOMO. And now, as I said in the title, FOMO stands for the fear of missing out. Have you ever had a feeling that you missed out on an opportunity? Whether a gathering with your friends, a business deal, a job posting, a live video, or a sports game. Any of those any you can add more to that list. This feeling can be described as FOMO, or fear of missing out. This describes a feeling that you may get when you feel like you missed out on something. It is a fear that starts to arise when you see an event occurring that you want to take part in, but you can't at the moment. So it's a feeling that you feel like you should be a part of something, but you're not. It can be subtle, however, it can become something grave for many people without them even knowing it. It's one of those things that creeps up on you. There's there's a few others, for example, jealousy, there's self-doubt. They all have, there's many different other forms, but they have ways of creeping up on you that you won't know until it becomes something big. Some people will go to extreme lengths to make sure they do not feel this fear. Okay, I'll go over a great example of one I experienced myself. One example for myself is an experience I had a few years ago during the springtime, and I can remember it very clearly and I'll explain why. I had been spending a lot of time on social media during that period and had not been going out much. I began to pick up a routine of checking social media a lot throughout the day. It had become a habit of mine to pick up my phone and check what other people are posting. That is when the FOMO started to creep its way into my mind and affect my daily thought patterns and habits. And it was almost like, I can explain it like doses. It became doses of FOMO every day, just getting chucked at me, chucked in my mind. I would feel fear when I did not check when I did not check what was happening online, and I would feel fear whenever I did check online, and other people would be posting, I spelled that wrong, them enjoying their time. It also affected my dealings with my business at the time, which was trading, where I would make really bad calls because I had a fear of missing out on big deals and making money. So I made really bad decisions that cost me money and put me in a bad position. And that's just an example of if someone is interested in business, that can be one way where it affected me in business that you can try relate to on your end. During that period of my life, I had started to become self-aware of my routine of going through FOMO that affected how much time I thought about others' lives on social media, business dealing and trading, and overall fear that I am missing out on doing something that is supposed to be really fun. But I just wanted to replicate what I saw so I can remove that FOMO I felt. And as you can see, it becomes something that, like a habit that you pick up, is something that starts off small and just it has a snowball effect as it's rolling down an avalanche. It becomes such a big snowball that you become so overwhelmed that you think you're incapable of dealing with it. But if you go back to the root causes that you can remember, you can start to pick apart that fear. I'd done something that I had never done before, which was go through a social media detox, and that was my first time ever doing something like that. And this is springtime 2021. I did this. This means I deleted all my social media apps and took myself out of the routine that I had built for myself because of fear. I decided to make the hard choice and step out of my comfort zone so I can build something that makes me feel good long term and I can sustain without feeling guilty or fearful. And it's because it's me checking my phone and going over those social media stuff. It started off as something that I just wanted to check out and stay up to date on my friends, but it became doing that same thing for a different reason. It became me checking those apps because I was feeling FOMO, so invested. Oh, what's everyone doing? I need to know so I can reduce this feeling of FOMO that I'm feeling. So stopping at the root cause, which was the social media, helped me kind of fizzle out FOMO, kind of stop it in its tracks of going the same route that I always try to take. This was a hard decision and even harder to follow through, but it became easier with time, and I adjusted to the change, enjoying the process, and built a mentality and program that I actually enjoyed following, and I trusted my own decisions and actions more. And at first, it's a very hard decision to make because you're stuck in a routine and you feel like if you break that routine, everything's gonna crumble. But if you have the right intention and you're actually committed to making the right changes, you'll find it easier with time, because you'll find some sort of supplements and replacements that you can kind of take that out of the equation of being trapped in FOMO through using social media, for example, in my case, and replace it with other good things that will stop you from going through that routine. And once you find that break, through consistency and actual dedication through and having those right intentions, you will find a way to create a new routine that's more beneficial for you. This also improved my decision making with business and other aspects of my life, because social media was clearly the main FOMO tool that my mind picked up on. So dealing with the biggest problem made the smaller problems easier to deal with, like the snowball off of a mountain example. This doesn't necessarily mean that social media is a big problem for everyone, but being self-aware about why and how you use it is important, so you can gauge your own intentions and see it, whether it is having a positive or negative effect on you. And that goes the same for any other causes for FOMO that you may see online, because I'm just one person and you have your own examples. However, if you check out other videos, I'm sure there's great videos online and great posts that people express how they went through FOMO. You can keep that a tab in your mind of something to keep aware of in case you ever do fall in that trap of FOMO. FOMO can affect you in small ways, but left untouched for a long time, it will snowball into a big issue later on down the line. So if you do feel FOMO, look into where the fear is feeding from and try to tackle this habit by removing triggers and replacing the good with the bad, enforcing rules, and or removing the habit altogether like I did. Thanks for reading. I give the example of removing something completely to try and stop the effect of FOMO or the problem of FOMO. There are other there are other ways, how I mentioned, removing triggers for certain things, replacing the good with the bad, enforcing rules. There's many ways you can kind of break down a certain trigger resistance and a problem you're facing. And even, for example, socializing, having discussions about it. There's many other ways, and I'm sure there's many other videos out there. I've posted videos as well about ways to stop resistance tripping you up. So, check those out, and make sure to check online, because I know there's great resources out there too. So thank you for watching.